My mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Newsnas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
I'm Natalia.
And I'm Sky.
And you'll notice that there's one of us missing. Jessie has some life things, so she's not here for the actual recording, but stay tuned, for there will be some special Jessie-related content later in the show. Because do you know what's happening yet again? It's been a while. We haven't done this in a while because just other stuff happened. But the Newsnas are back. Ba-dum-bum-bum. It's the Newsnas. Some of this is not quite breaking news, shall we say, because it's been a while since we did the Newsnas. But we are here to bring you some hot news. And as always, to rip off the Band-Aid, we'll start with Enlistments. Who would like to read all of the enlistments that have gone down?
Oh, golly. I can give it a go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. Enlisted, we've got Park So-ham that's our boy, right? From the
Semantic Error.
That's the one, Semantic Error. I'm like, I can see him in the red jacket with the little beanie, but I can't think of it. Yeah, anyway, he enlisted. That feels like a long time ago. DICE members, Yoojun and Hyunsu enlisted in the military, also in March. Pentagon's Hong Suk enlisted in May. MJ enlisted in May. Actor Lee Tae-hwan enlisted in June. Wonwee's Young-hoon enlisted in July, and Kang-hyun in August. Aces Chan is going to enlist in August. And let's see, are there any more coming up? No, and so then discharges. Who's finished? The good half of this is Day 6's Sungjin took his final vacation on July 4th, which essentially ends his enlistment. Cards, Joseph was discharged on April 4th. They've already had to come back. Yay. Chen was discharged on April 25th.
He's already done international concerts, so
making home to make more babies.
Yeah,
good for you.
He didn't need to. He didn't stop all of the military. I don't think it matters where he is.
Zico was discharged April 28th and just
Already
had a new album come out. Actor Shin Jae-ha was discharged May 23rd.
And I just saw he's going to be popping up in a show soon.
Love it. And Park Bo-gum was discharged May 29th. And Block B's Park Kyung discharge is being postponed because he changed service to a public service worker because of health reasons. So there's a little pause in his service, and so his discharge won't happen quite as early as expected.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Next, we have a rundown of all the member changements and group disbandments that have happened. Sky, would you like to take this away?
Sure. Tracing, TRCNG, terminated their contract with TS Entertainment at the end of March. If you don't know what entertainment group that is the one that had the Rose, so they're super crappy. Just yeah. Mm-hmm. At least that's what my memory tells me.
Yeah, I feel like TS is.
I think that's who they were.
That's Mm-hmm.
CLC Sungyeon and Yin have officially left Cube. Good for them. Good for them. Dunk has changed their name to DKZ.
Good choice.
And have added 3 new members: Sehyun, Jisuk, and Mingu. Lay, EXO's Lay. He left SM Entertainment on April 8th. So that was forever ago.
Well, he also hasn't been doing anything with SM for years. So it's
I really loved that song though. He's got that song and it's got all the EXO members, little bits of them saying his name and stuff and calling him Kyung at the beginning of the song that his sort of goodbye to SM song. It was very cute.
Yang Yina formerly from April left DSP April 8th. Neon left A-Pink April 8th, which legit.
April 8th was a big day. For these places.
So, because also King Top left YG April 8th.
Good for him.
Good
for him. Mm-hmm. Good for him.
Yeah. Lay,
it was a day.
Yeah. I'm sure the media was like, wow, okay. Yoonji, Yori, Hyung. I'm sorry. I'm probably butchering these names. I really am attempting. Hyo-young from the group Ariaz, A-R-I-A-Z, terminated their contract with Star Empire April 9th. That's a newer group, isn't it? Am I dreaming
so.
that?
I feel like it is.
Like the past couple years. I mean, you know, something like that. Shin Ji-yoon from Weekly left the group due to health. That's pretty sad because that is one of the newer girl groups that's pretty active, really. Girl group Grayish disbanded after 4 years. That's depressing. Yoon Chae-kyung from April has left DSP. So it sounds like we have a couple of
Yeah.
Chi-hyun left TO1 and terminated contract. I feel like I want to say TO1 also added some people. TO1. Oh, no, it's down below. Let me go ahead and say
ignore.
So there are a handful of other people that left TO1. Minsu, Jerome, and Yoongi. They all left. Diago, Renta, Yeojung, they came in as new members. It is a massive group, in case you're not familiar. They have many members. Japanese, if you don't know. They were a competition. They formed in a competition show, I believe. Less than a year after debuting, Hot Issue disbanded. That's really sad.
That's rough.
Chiwoo has left the group Kingdom. Lunar Solar disbanded in May after less than 2 years. And so this one we all knew was probably coming, but that didn't make it any more okay, really.
Yeah.
Cube officially announced the disbandment of CLC, which they did not use CLC to the greatest of their potential at all. And CLC,
what, you're telling me that an entertainment company isn't promoting a girl group appropriately or effectively? Say it isn't so.
But Cube on top of that, so yeah. So 2 members joined Black Swan, Gabri from Brazil and Sriya from India. Sriya will be the first idol from India, so that's pretty cool. First gen idols: Goofy, Park Sung-ho, and Young Turks Club's Choi Sung-min are currently preparing to launch a new 7-member girl group in 2023.
That's fun.
Jiho left Oh My Girl after not renewing her contract with the WM Entertainment. Kim Garam's contract with Hybe/Source has been terminated. We will probably discuss that on our Patreon sometime. That might be a topic.
There's a lot to unpack there.
GOT7's JB has joined CDNZA Records and after his contract expiration with Higher Music.
I feel like it was a really fast contract.
Yeah, it was
a really short contract period with Higher.
I was laughing with that Soju Chronicles Nat that we can't read that CDN without seeing it as Canadian, and my daughter looked at it and went, CDN, is that a Canadian
New Zealand, Australia? Canadian, New Zealand, Australia. It's some common.
I don't know what it is, but hey, cool. But yeah, that was a short contract for sure.
Maybe it was intentional like that. Yeah. You know, it kind of makes you wonder if it was just kind of a.
But there was a bunch of other Shike announced the same day. They announced that he was gone from Higher as well, and then the next day, Higher had no website. Their entire website was gone. So people are like, is this for real? This one, he's got JB's got a contract somewhere else. But everybody else, PH1, his entire Instagram went blank. It was a whole thing. And people were like, I'm wondering if they've got a single coming up, one of those group singles coming up. And they wonder if it's a promo thing. And I'm like, I hope so, or something is really wrong over there.
Major 9 disbanded the girl group Bling Bling, kind of a big one. Jessie with an I, her contract with P Nation ended, and she's not going to renew. So that is a big deal.
Yeah,
but she has come out she's trying to be very clear. It's not no bad terms or anything, because some people are trying to push her to reveal or whatever, and she's like, "That's not it."
It's a business decision.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, she says that she loves P Nation and all that, so she's fine.
It happened like right around the same time that she got replaced for Soderview, right? So people were like, "Did she leave because she's mad about that? Did they not renew her because they knew she wasn't renewing? Like what? You know?" And it's like, it's just 2 contracts that ended at the same time. Like it's, just let it go, guys. Let it.
And finally, Junggu Ri is leaving from S9. As her contract ended, they will continue as an 8-member group.
When will they learn not to name your group after how many members are in the group?
So what's weird with that one too, though, is that they just their company was bought or whatever by another company, and when that happened, all the other girls signed new contracts. She's the only girl who didn't sign a new contract. So none of the other girls have contracts that are expiring right now.
That's
only
weird.
her. And so people are speculating as to why did they not offer her a new contract? Did she not want to resign?
Well, we may never know. Never know. Next, we got the fun stuff, which I guess I get to read it. Oh, that's right. We have the rundown on all the engagements, the weddings, and the babies. So, comedians Kim Joon-ho and Kim Ji-min have confirmed they're dating. That's fun for them. Gong Hyo-jin and Kevin Oh are dating.
Good
That's
for
pretty
her.
fun.
Yeah.
Makeup YouTuber Pure D and JB from GOT7 announced that they were dating. I think that's fun. Her stuff is really cool. She does horror makeup and
wild
stuff. Hani from Exit and psychiatrist Yang Jae-woo confirmed they were dating. That's fun, out of left field, but fun. John Park, the singer, announced that he was engaged to a non-celebrity. So a classic. I love those. So respect her privacy as not a celebrity. Hwang Bo-ra announced her engagement to her longtime boyfriend Cha Hyun-woo in November. They'll be married. So that's nice. Figure skater Kim Yuna and Fristella member Ko Woo-rim are in a relationship and planning on getting married in October. Rapper Sleepy, who I think is so funny, by the way. He's a funny dude. Married his non-celebrity girlfriend, April. Congrats. Singer Yukika announced she was getting married. Yoon K-sang held a wedding ceremony with his new wife after postponing it due to COVID-19. So, socially responsible. We love to see
Very nice.
it. Yeah. Jang Mara got married to her non-celebrity boyfriend in June.
And her pictures were so pretty.
So pretty. Hello Venus member Yo Room got married on May 29th. And in a double blast from the past marriage, U-Kiss member Hoon married former Girls' Day member Hwang Ji-sun in May. Park Shin-hee and Choi Chae-yoon had a baby.
Aww.
Of course, it was a bit of a shotgun wedding, but we love to see it. Actress Hwang Jung-eum gave birth to her second child. Congratulations. Actress Kang Soo-yoon has passed away at the age of 55. I'm not sure this goes in the marriage section, but there wasn't any other section for it, so we're sorry to hear that.
Births, deaths, it's all the same page in the newspaper, so.
Bobby Kim married a non-celebrity girlfriend, who I guess wife now, a non-celebrity wife, in June. Kim Hae married a non-celebrity as well in May. Former 100% member Chen Young married his non-celebrity girlfriend. A lot of non-celebrity partners coming up. Shinhwa Andy and announcer Lee Eun-jo got married in June privately. Yeah. Good for them. Actress Joo Min-ha and former Five Prize member Yeol got married in July. And Son Ye-jin and Hyun Bin are having a baby. Yay. What an attractive child. Attractive human.
What I find so funny is how some people are really shocked by this news.
I know, and I'm like,
she's
not ancient.
What do you think typically makes celebrities want to have a wedding, announce a wedding and stuff in the first place? Usually they're at least having family in mind.
Yeah,
usually that's what
chill out.
Well, and they're not young, so you want to get going.
If you want a baby, you're going to try for it right away, right?
Yeah.
Chan Sung and his wife had their baby.
Yay. A daughter.
Thai actors Push and Jui announced that they're having a baby. They got married a couple years ago.
And when they got married, they both they were very public about wanting to start a family right away, like wanting to have babies right away. So this is kind of, it's been a while. So that's
well,
nice
there was
for
a
them.
whole pandemic thing that happened right after they got married.
Although,
so,
I mean, a lot of people weren't doing anything else during pandemic. So
you know what? I was thinking that, but apparently the baby boom that was expected did
not happen.
People were not into it. They were like, no.
They were not feeling sexy.
Actress Han Yuri announced that she and her boyfriend got married secretly. Good for her.
Yeah.
I love to see it. Japanese actress Satomi Ishihara gave birth to her first child. Actress Jeon Hee-bin announced that she's pregnant. Taiwanese actress Jo Chen married model Alan Chen, so a little international flavor because Alan Chen is Malaysian, I believe. Cross borders love, you love to see it. And singer Ben, or Ben, I'm not sure which, announced that she is pregnant. So lots of babies, lots of marriages. You know, I really like seeing celebrity marriages, like Asian celebrity marriages, because it's just like fans are so bullshitty about it. Like that, I'm just like, they're still doing it. So
yeah.
All right, getting into the news stories now.
Ooh. Oh, golly.
Amanda.
So much. Okay.
What do you want to start us off with?
I'm trying to find the one because I feel like this kind of segues nicely, but I'm trying to find it in my list. But Han Groo is coming back to Dramaland.
Yes.
Hopefully. She's signed on with, cannot remember. Oh, here we go, with SBD. She has been out of the business since 2015 when she gave birth to a son. Mm-hmm. So, you know, she's, I guess maybe, you know, he's in school now. She's like, all right, I'm good. I can get back in it. I'm so excited because she's so good. She's such a great actress. Like Marriage Not Dating, chef's kiss. Like it's delightful. So I look forward to seeing her in more stuff. Jessie says the same thing. She's got like notes. Yay. So, and I'm glad that
Marriage Not Dating is so good too.
It is like, it's
I didn't actually know that she had like a kid. So after I watched it, I was like, man, like she's not like doing anything. I wonder what happened. But I'm glad that it wasn't anything.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, and it's so nice. Like, good for you. Have it both ways, right? Like, have your career, stay home and spend time with your kid if that's what you want. Mm-hmm. Have it all. So, can't wait to see what she comes back in.
So taking it to Taiwan, this news story has made me laugh hysterically. And the reason is because, okay, I'll tell the news story and then I'll tell why I was laughing. So the stars of the drama Plus and Minus, Max Lin and Shi Chang-ho, have been leaving cryptic social media posts that have people strongly speculating that the two are dating in real life. And the two are feeding into these rumors by like reposting fan congratulations on their relationships on their own social media. So like, and Jessie says TikTok is obsessed with this because the online detectives are going wild. So like they're literally like messing with people. Like the two actors are like messing with people. Like they're like, maybe we are, maybe we aren't. But what I think is funny about this is that in another group chat I'm in, someone in the group chat saw the news of this and were so mad. But the reason they were mad is because they're on a BL Discord where one of the people on the Discord is always like, oh, I know for sure that these two people are dating for sure, like with every ship. And this was one of the ships. And she was like, I just don't want her to be right. But like, you know, if they are, good for them. But if they aren't, I love the commitment to the bit and I love the commitment to the troll. But if they are, this is the greatest announcement in history of them just being like reposting like, oh, congratulations on your relationship with like, oh, thank you. And then like reposting like, hey, are you guys actually dating with like, yes, like this a little like yes sticker on the repost, like, yes, we are. But what's also funny is that from like international fans and Taiwanese fans, it's all, oh, congratulations on your relationship. But with all the Chinese fans, the retweet, the post is like, oh, congratulations on your new commercial that you two are filming. The success of your show. And I'm like, yes, Chinese censorship at its best. Anyway, I hope they are. I think it would be fun. I think it would be fun.
Either way, at least they're having a good time.
Like, if they are, this is the greatest social media blitz of all time. And if they aren't, well, they're having fun. So,
Right.
Good times.
So I'm going to talk about JYP Entertainment a little bit.
Oh boy.
So the first little tiny blurb we have is JYP Entertainment and Dunamu terminate their NFT joint venture establishment agreement. So yay! I don't have high hopes that they won't turn to something else, but hey.
This is dead. You have to take the victories where they come, right?
So the thing I really wanted to talk about was JYP Entertainment. They have a North American sector. Mm-hmm. They're expanding as they try to spend more money in the advancement into the US. So they're going, JYP Entertainment North America, they're going to join with Republic Records as they launch the world's first North American girl group, A2K, which is also called America to Korea, created through the K-pop system. So that was a statement from both of those labels. The talent will be from America, but they will apply the JYP system of development into the supergroup. So that's how they'll make it. They start in September, so right around the corner. Jessie has some notes, which I shall read to you. The age requirement is super young, 12 to 16.
Yeah.
So that's gross. We all agree that's gross.
We don't like that.
Especially when that's not an established thing here either. Why go that young? Why?
Why? It's not like, people hit 18 and somehow lose their ability to sing, dance, and perform. Like it just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Whereas I think you would want at least maybe start training them when they're 16, but maybe wait till they have more leeway.
Yeah, because when you're 18, you can perform late at night you don't have any of the child actor performer requirements. You don't have to do traveling internationally. Much easier as a group if you're not minors.
Well, and then if they need to be their own advocate for something, it's a little easier as far as they're an adult legally, so they can have more of a voice rather than having to guardian and all those things.
You don't have to worry about setting up how they have the special bank accounts for child performers so their parents don't steal all their money, that sort of. You don't have to deal with any of that.
I feel like they might be miscalculating a little bit what North American audiences are like. You know what I mean? And what North American parents are like. Because yes, some parents are going to be whole hog on the, try to get on the gravy train and stuff. But there are a lot of parents who are going to be nah, this is not okay.
Listen, you don't want a group made up of only people with dance moms. You know what I mean? That's a nightmare scenario for JYP.
Are they gonna those moms? Are they gonna try to be a part of it? I'm not sure that the idol system translates to North American mentality very well because we don't
that. You would kind of think if in order to make that a solid experiment and a big effort, you think they wouldn't go as young as 12, 13.
Yeah.
You think they would try to go
15 and above or something.
Yeah. They would be more
high school kids.
The kind of socially acceptable high school kids starting to do more talent shows. That realm is more
palatable for people.
Yeah, they see that in North America. That's a more common thing.
Yeah. Well, even 16-year-olds who are applying for that adult status and stuff like that. It's a little bit more acceptable. It's a little more normal. If you're 16 and this is your dream, I can believe that this is your dream. If you're 12 and it's your dream, my kid is 11. He's had 6 different dreams in the last year. I'm not sure I'm prepared to put him in boot camp.
Yeah.
Over his dream. Whatever this
when I was 12, I wanted to be an astronaut. Do you see me going to space? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now, so another note from Jessie, but it's on the positive side of things. So they specifically include in their requirements as anyone they are accepting anyone that identifies as she, her, or them. So
which is cool.
They talk about those pronouns. So that's actually a really cool thing to see. Now, even if it's just
now
North
JYP
America side of things,
take that energy back to Korea.
Yeah,
will you?
Well, and I mean they say that, but if you've got male presenting people who identify as them,
Like,
those
I
are
think
probably not the
that,
people who are going to make the cut.
yeah,
right?
I
So-
feel I'll hold my judgment until they have, you know, a trans teen idol.
But at the very least, it's a step.
It
like it's
Yeah.
better
It's
than not having
it's
that
better
step.
than nothing. Like, it may be an empty gesture, but at least it's a gesture, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, have we seen anything else along those lines? No.
we have
So
not.
like,
No, we have
it's
not.
true.
All right, Amanda, you next.
All right, so taking it over to Japan. I don't know where this came from or what the purpose is. Well, I know what the purpose is, but so there's a new Japanese girl group being formed. It's
I love it.
called
I love it.
ASA Girls, and the whole purpose of this group is to change
Incredible.
the image of medical marijuana use.
I love
in
these
Japan.
incredibly specific girl groups that get formed to like
Yeah,
for some sort of social purpose. Like I love
it's
it.
wild. And so the casting call, as it were, is for women under the age of 40. So that's a really high
That's a
cutoff
high
for
range.
a Japanese, like,
Listen, a group realizing that even if you're in your 30s and your 20s, you can still sing and dance.
I mean,
And
I don't
smoke
think
pot,
on our,
maybe.
like, Idol Manager is not giving us the 35-year-old girl
No,
options.
we're
So,
not.
you
Listen,
know.
we need the game modders out there to like mod for us a little bit, you know?
yeah.
And they have to have a clean record of no known drug use outside of medical marijuana use. So they're basically hiring women who have, you know, used pot for various reasons to go out and sing and dance and make people understand that this is okay.
If I tell this to my husband, he's going to think it is like the best thing on the face of the
It's
planet.
hilarious.
Because
Wild.
as a healthcare worker, he's very pro like medical marijuana use.
Mhm.
Actually, any recreational as well. But like he sees the benefits for everybody in a variety of ways, and how it needs to be everywhere, and how people should use that option if they can. But yeah, this is awesome. I actually think this is probably something we'll probably do a special like clip later on. So we will probably be coming back to this topic.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
come back around to it. It's wild. It's cool.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So going to Thailand, a lot of stuff's been. Listen, KinnPorsche, it's the gift that keeps on giving in terms of stories that just keeps going. A lot of them really unintentional and not great, but it be what it be. So in the positive news, I'm gonna do what was called the compliment sandwich. Okay, you start with something positive, then you do something negative, and then you end again with something positive. It's the compliment sandwich, the KinnPorsche compliment sandwich. So first off, KinnPorsche had a very successful concert that they did. I used the term concert incredibly loosely because from what I've seen, it was essentially a
Magic
male burlesque show.
Yeah.
Listen, and like, sure, all those young guys, they can all get it. But the dude who played Vegas's father was going harder than anyone else there. That man wanted to dance shirtless more than anyone you've ever seen in your life. And he did. So they seem to have had a good time. Unfortunately, my boy Stuart did get COVID afterwards, and then felt the need to apologize to anyone who may have caught COVID from him when he didn't know he had it, which I think is very sweet, a little unnecessary.
Sounds
Like,
very Stuart though.
It's very
It is
Stuart,
very.
very Stuart energy of him being like,
Mhm.
I apologize for anyone I've harmed with my actions of going to work not knowing I had COVID. Like, and you're just like, Perth, my guy, like, it's okay. Like, it's okay. The person who gave it to you isn't apologizing, so it's fine. Now to the negative part of this compliment sandwich. So the KinnPorsche writers are currently under fire, rightfully so, for a thing they've said and possibly done, little unclear, to Barcode, who was the teen actor who played Porsche's younger brother, who was the only minor working on the set. So essentially there was like, you know, they would say like inappropriate things to him and then tell him that he had to give them like massages and stuff, like just real weird shit. And then so they were joking about this on a live stream with him and Jeff Satter, the guy, the actor singer who played Kim, the youngest of the Mafia brothers. And Jeff Satter was like, excuse me, the things you're describing are inappropriate and they're an abuse of power, and you should feel ashamed for even joking about them, let alone if you actually did them. And he was like, and Barcode, you don't have to listen to people like this. If they're going to do these sorts of things, you just tell them no in the future. Like, absolutely not. Like, to their faces in a live stream was like, you are sick. If this was real, you're sick.
Amazing.
End of the compliment sandwich. We go back. So the writers have been chastised by the staff, and the company, Beyond Cloud, has announced a new historical film starring the main actors, in which Apo, the man who played Porsche, plays a traditional dancer, and Miles, the guy who played Kin, is a drummer. And some gay historical romance might be coming. And the preview looked really great. But yeah, so it's really nice.
So they already have a preview out and stuff. Wow.
Yeah, well, it's just like a little teaser preview thing, but it looked beautiful. But it's nice to see cast standing up for each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's just like, you know,
even in the moment, like not even later on,
afterwards. Like literally in the moment that no, absolutely not.
Because it would still be a very valid reaction to like have to think about it to figure out how to react in such a situation, right?
I feel like from what I know about Jeff, he's the sort of person who wouldn't sit there and think of the best way to respond to this situation. He would just go, "Excuse you, motherfucker. I don't think so."
Yeah.
Like, because you know, Barcode was like 17 when he was filming this, so though I have been enjoying Barcode's little live streams that he does, where he'll be like, "Hey, I'm just tuning into this live stream, but I'm in school. I'm hiding in the bathroom, like." But I just wanted to let you guys know that I really enjoyed working with you on the show, and they're all like, "Go back to class." He's like, "It's okay. I wasn't passing anyway. Don't worry about it."
Oh, baby.
So let's talk about Hybe's new girl group.
Oh boy.
How they popped out of like
nowhere.
Seemingly nowhere.
Right?
There were no, you know, it really was like, hey, this girl group's debuting now. Like no teasers. No, this is what we're doing. So the girl group's name is NewJeans, and they're kind of like R&B a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I like their vibe. I don't like their ages.
Well, so some of them are, so to be clear, only a few of them are on the very younger side of things. Some of them are older. And that's also what Jessie says. I really like their songs and hate their ages. Like, the ones that are too young. Jessie says that she does like that they came out with this stuff all of a sudden without any kind of warning.
Mm-hmm.
In case anyone is curious, the name is based on jeans being a classic, timeless fashion piece, and they want to convey that through their concept.
That's cool. And I do think like that first video that they released had a very like high school, like that you feel like you've seen that video before, right? The girls in the like chilling out, going to the beach together, going shopping, doing their thing.
There were a few exceptions where I found that some of the outfits, especially knowing that none of them are adults, that I was like, I don't like this. But it's not that bad. Though there has been some rumors about the CEO of their label saying some weird shit.
And she's very, her Instagram account and stuff is very full of sexually suggestive prepubescent child photos and things. Like she's got a very early Brooke Shields kind of aesthetic to her art and stuff. And so people are like, we're doing like YG 2.0 here. Like,
like, I don't
picking them for reasons. And you're like, ooh.
But you know what the difference between YG in the early 2000s and this is that this immediately came out and everyone's like, we'll be watching.
Yeah.
will
got
be
our eyes on you.
watching this situation, you know, like.
And one other comment from Jessie was also that because so far all the girls are sticking to their natural hair colors, and since it's that R&B influence as well, it's kind of leaning towards like first gen groups. So Jessie likes to see that. So
I also like that one of the group members is Vietnamese. That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, seems like it will be a neat group. We're just disappointed. And we hope that they're safe, and hopefully everyone will be taking care of them.
We just want children to be able to be children.
Yes.
And we want everybody to be safe. So even if someone is 17, we still don't want them to be taken advantage of. Or even 21, we don't want them to be taken advantage of.
Exactly. Exactly.
We want safe spaces for girl groups. We also want them to get work. We want both things. We want them to have a decent job. Imagine that.
We like it. Yeah.
What a shock.
Yeah.
What a mystery.
So, sort of speaking of safe and not very safe spaces and things like that, singer Holland, who is one of the few out Korean singers, was the victim of a violent homophobic attack. Not good. We, especially with all the new like Korean boy love, like people tend to think that maybe things are getting better, or and it's like TV is not real life, so things are not good. On a sort of semi-related note, singer TFELT was actually announced as the ambassador for Amnesty Korea's campaign for LGBTQ youth to like.
But did TFELT do something else too? Is TFELT out there just killing it?
Queen of like
TFELT. Also, TFELT has awesome music too.
Yes, she does. She has fabulous music. But like,
tell us, what else has TFELT been up to recently?
So she also went very public for her support of disability rights. There's been a whole thing with disabled people have been protesting in the subway stations about the lack of accessibility for them. And people are getting really frustrated about it and angry because it slows down their commute and it all this stuff. And TFELT's like, no, you think it's uncomfortable for you? Like,
they can't even get on the metro. Like,
sorry, you've been, it's a couple of minutes out of your day. It's their whole lives that they can't take the subway. So like, maybe we should fix that. And people are like, you're so rich and famous, you don't even take the subway. She's like, nah, I don't take the subway, but I still think that this is important. So then she like posted about how she gave like 1 million won to the organization to help them keep on doing their thing. Like, she's like, and she puts her money where her mouth is, and she puts her mouth out there. Like,
I feel like in the past, she's also like come under flack for like feminist stuff and whatever.
And she
does not screw around.
No, she doesn't give a shit what you think. You know what? As the people of my building recently discovered, the only effective form of protest is when it becomes so inconveniencing that you have to change what's being protested. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, one of my neighbor's fridge broke down. The landlord wouldn't fix it, so she put it in the stairwell so it became everyone's problem. And guess what? He fixed it.
so yeah.
It's
good for you. We love TFELT. We appreciate all of her hard work doing beautiful music, great songs, and like just saying what she thinks and being an advocate for literally everybody. Every minority, every group that needs an advocate, she's out there advocating. So like,
kudos.
Good. Good for you.
That's what people really should be doing with their fame. Let's be honest.
But
like,
I
otherwise,
remember
what are you doing?
Seeing an interview with George Clooney, and he talked about that one time, about how he and Brad Pitt made this sort of pact at one point when they were at like the height of their massive popularity. Every time they did an interview, they tried to set it up so that they were like in the background. If they were filming on location somewhere, in the background was like the slums of Mexico or the, whatever, because they were like, we can't do a lot. We can donate money and we can, you're going to watch this and go, wait, what is that going on in the background? And we're going to be able to like bring your attention to what's going on around us. And like, that's something we can do with our fame. And I think that's a cool detail to pay attention to.
Nothing.
Because we have to realize, you know, they can't all of a sudden require that the movie shoot a certain way, but they can't, like, if you have enough power, you can at least do these smaller things to try to show.
Well, and to just not be constantly like, oh yeah, I'm in beautiful Mexico and look at the sunset and isn't it wonderful here? You can be like, you know, it's not all resorts and happy times. Like there's other stuff going on behind the scenes. So I appreciate it when somebody uses their celebrity for good things like that.
So I've got a little bit of roundup of Netflix news.
Here we go.
Okay, first off, All of Us Are Dead and Squid Game are getting second seasons. Jessie writes, they both don't need second seasons. I agree. But her and I will probably watch both of them because of course we will. I think it's fine. I don't really get why. Like I get why, but they narratively, especially All of Us Are Dead. I'm like, well, if you've seen the end of it,
so often things should just be one and done. Like,
just let them end. It's fine.
And especially with Netflix, it's like they're giving second seasons to things that don't necessarily need or warrant a second season. But then with their like American programming and stuff, they like
cut it in the middle of a
storyline, and you're like, this needed another season. Give this the money for another season. Like,
it's fine. Whatever. In addition, Netflix also had the incredibly single brain cell idea that a reality show version of Squid Game would be so great. It's not. It's stupid. And everyone hated that. Literally every reply, like when they announced that, every single reply was like, not it, fam. Not it, fam.
Please do not do this.
There's so many other parallels, like literary parallels and stuff. Like, no, you don't go, oh, we're going to make this a real game. No.
They're already real games. They just murder people when you don't play them well. Like no.
You remember like years ago there was that, I think it was Ice T. I can't remember. Oh my goodness. It was a while back, but like a movie where he plays a homeless guy who gets like, hey, we'll give you some like food and a place to sleep, and he wakes up on an island with like a bunch of white people hunting him.
Yeah.
And like nobody said, hey, let's make that a movie. Like let's make that a show, right? Like people went like, people recognize this is not good.
That like Takeshi's Castle already exists. Like we don't need, like, because that's essentially what it would be, but not fun. It's just that depressing. Like, and also in Netflix news, because it continues, this is a real monkey's paw to many people out there. There's a new season of Arthdal. It's a coming, but neither of the two main leads are coming back.
Yeah.
Okay. However, there's a rumor that Song Joong-ki is being replaced by Lee Joon-gi as like an older version, and that I am not mad at.
Right?
I am 100% for that. I think that would be the sickest recasting you've ever seen.
I'm hoping that that's kind of the premise, is that we've got like a big
it's been like
time
15
jump,
years or something.
You know, that like the baby that was about to be born, you know, like some of these things that like those are gonna be
because like, I can see how you
or
could
whatever
like
now.
Push it forward like that because like of the way, I don't want to spoil it here on the Newsnas episode, like the way that the first season, it's a weird system. The way it's laid out is a bizarre concept, but the last episode, like you could easily have a like 10 to 15 year jump and the story continue, and you sort of infer what has happened between.
That's also how the show has already been crafted.
Already been doing.
So at the very, very beginning of Arthdal, you had like, you know,
15 years
kind of the early ancestors of these people. Like,
and then it's like, then you jump to the mother of the main character, and then the next is you jump 15 years forward to like
the main character
who's a teenager at the end. Played by 30-year-old Song Joong-ki, a teenager.
But hey, did that work? It did.
It did. It did.
I mean, it did.
It did.
So,
It did. It worked so well that when I watched Space Sweepers, and I'm like, that's his kid. He's dead. Okay, if you say so. You say so. Even though he was like 30 in that too. But
I think that like this type of show too, like when people like they're trying to tell an epic storyline, an epic tale that involves time. Like you don't get revolution in an afternoon. Like you don't get, you know, especially when you're talking about this sort of fantasy historical time frame. It's not like now where like you hop on the internet and change things or whatever. It takes long periods of time for you to build up armies and do things in that kind of setting.
Yeah.
Most books that would be like this would be an epic series, would have huge time jumps within them. So like it makes sense logically. Now, if it does pick up right where it left off, that's going to be a little awkward with the, you know, changes. But like, who knows what they're doing? Maybe it'll be great.
See
so,
Lee Joon-gi as an older version of Song Joong-ki. Like,
it
works in my brain.
I would have never thought of it.
But until it was mentioned to me,
right?
I was like, yeah. So like, if
I mean, they both do look, it's attractive. Like they do manly and like pretty, like or whatever. Like they both do both really well.
Like,
so like
Lee Joon-gi is perfect for this genre of show.
Oh yeah,
he perfected the art of this genre. So
well, let's see where it goes.
Yeah. In the final Netflix news, a subsidiary of Netflix, Scanline VFX, is investing $100 million in South Korea over the next 6 years to build special effects facilities. So they're who made the graphics for Game of Thrones, so that they're well known in the industry. Now, this is another bit of a monkey's paw as well, because the VFX industry is known for worker abuse quite a bit. And we all know that it's much easier to get away with worker abuse in Asia than it is in North America because of just the difference in laws, and also you can pay them less and stuff. So it's real. Okay. But hopefully, on the other hand, perhaps we'll be getting more sort of VFX heavy shows and movies in the future. So it'll really, you know, be a bit of a flip side, but we'll hope that's not the impetus. Okay. We'll hope that for the first time ever, a corporation has chosen to do the right thing. Natalia says it.
That could happen.
You didn't even sound remotely convinced of that while you said it.
I'm going to talk about 2 K-pop themed movies coming to the States in the coming years. First one is called K-Pops. It is a comedy film directed by rapper Anderson .Paak, which I'm not sure we would have ever guessed that. It's about a washed-up musician who travels to Korea to write songs for K-pop, only to find his long-lost son, who is a rising star. There have been rumors of Chanwoo being involved in that. He's being rumored to be everywhere with announcements.
Do you think like it'll be one of those directing yourself in the film kind of situations? Like, do you think Anderson .Paak's going to play the guy who
never
goes
know?
Like, I'm curious because interesting.
On the other side, so the other movie that has been mentioned is K-pop Lost in America. It was announced by CJ Entertainment, and that involves like a K-pop boy band getting stranded in America and like having to travel through states and all these things. Supposedly, Inu has been offered a leading role in that. Sounds like Rebel Wilson and Charles Melton are involved as well.
Reggie from Riverdale, for anyone wondering what that is, fellow Riverdale watchers.
I do have to say, if Inu ends up in both, I will laugh a lot.
So I did just do a little bit, little update is that it is set to star Anderson .Paak and also his real life son, Sol Rashid.
Oh,
So that's cool.
So,
That's
yes,
neat.
Anderson Paak's mother is Korean, but she was adopted, so he never knew much about his Korean heritage. And he says, until I met my wife, and this movie is a reflection of my experience learning about this part of myself alongside with my wife and son and spending even more time with them. And I knew this was something that I should write and direct, and Stampede Ventures took a chance and trusted that I could pull it off, and I'm excited to bring it to the big screen.
That kind of sounds charming.
Yeah, it does. So I
Now-
like it.
The other one, on the other hand,
K-pop Lost in America.
it could either be charming or
Wilson.
terrible.
It could also be both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
And
We'll
like
watch
people
it,
who live
yeah.
in Texas are like, because that's apparently where they're going to get lost, is like in a quote unquote podunk town in Texas. But people are like, okay, this quote unquote podunk town in Texas has like direct flights to Dallas and like one of the biggest like Korean American churches in the States. They're like,
Listen, they're going
fine.
full K-drama, okay? They're all gonna get into a car accident and have amnesia, okay? And then they'll have to like,
they're like, they would literally be
integrate
walking
into
the
this
street and
town.
somebody would walk up and go, hi, do you need help? Because in Korean, because there's lots of Korean people around in that area that they're talking about. So they're like, I don't know if the people who set this up understand America and the fact that we have Asians here. Like, okay. But we'll see. We'll see what they do. Maybe that's part of the charm. Maybe there will be that will be a part of the story. Who knows?
I just saw at the end of this article about the K-pop Lost in America thing that earlier in 2021, Sony Pictures Animation announced that they're working on a musical film called K-pop Demon Hunters.
okay, on the other hand, that sounds fucking incredible.
It would center around a demon hunting K-pop girl group.
Yes.
Jessie right
Give it
now
to
is
me.
losing
Give
her
it to me.
mind.
Look it straight in my veins. Thank you. This is like as good as when like was Dead by Daylight added the
It's like
Hong Joon character.
basically the serial killing ex-K-popper as one of the villains that you can play as.
Dreamcatcher Vampire Slayers. Like,
Give it
Yeah.
to me.
give it
So
to me.
we will be keeping a close eye on K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Exciting.
You can pay
exciting.
attention here. We will be looking for anything that comes out about that.
Mm-hmm. Back to Japan. Nintendo. Yay, Nintendo. I love you. They made an announcement that they will now, as a company, be offering family benefits to people, heterosexual couples who are in common law relationship, now common law marriages, as well as they will be offering family benefits to homosexual couples who work for them in order to make things more fair for all their employees across the board and to provide.
This comes on the tail end of a Japanese court saying that it was not unconstitutional to deny gay marriage, which is still under, like, it's being moved up the, you know. So Nintendo was like, if the government's going to move this slow, Nintendo's given a power up to our gay employees. So good for them. Very progressive.
Yeah.
You know?
And I mean, I when we hear so much in the gaming community about these companies being absolutely terrible to their employees and stuff, it's really nice for a change to hear a good story about companies
I will say it's not usually
their employees.
I will say it's not usually Nintendo that you're hearing about.
No, that is true. That's I'm in general.
But often,
right?
I mean, a very common discussion among game development companies is crunch time and how they burn out their employees and, you know, don't give them any assistance.
And also like their treatment of trans employees. Like my cousin is a trans woman and she used to work for gaming companies and Netflix too as like a designer and was part of the issues that have come up against the trans community, and she had to leave both those jobs. So like,
and I mean, as far as things like family benefits go and stuff, it's always nice when a company recognizes that things like crunch time and overtime and all that kind of thing actually takes a toll on your family life and it affects other people. Like every year, like when they used to have Christmas parties for my husband's work, every year the boss of the site would get up and give a heartfelt thank you speech and everything to the spouses, because they were like, we get that it is difficult to be married to employees here because they have to, do stuff that can be frustrating or takes them away from their family. So I appreciate Nintendo saying, hey, even if our government says not equal, we say yes, equal. So good for them.
Yeah. And hopefully like it inspires more companies to take suit. And because, as ridiculous as this sounds, companies doing this will force the government to eventually do it. Because the longer it goes on, and like the more companies that offer this, the more that, people who either were apolitical on the topic or even against it are like, wait a second, this does make sense now that I think about it. And then the government just starts to look bad the longer it goes on, right? So good for them. Good for them.
Yeah.
So in a couple news stories of Korean actors being cast in American productions. So we have Jung Ho-yeon, who was the female lead in Squid Game, was cast in the Apple TV drama Disclaimer alongside my husband's favorite actress, Cate Blanchett, Kevin Kline, and Sacha Baron Cohen, and more. And she was also announced that she's going to be in the movie The Governesses, which is based on the Anne Sarah novel, and she'll be starring with Lily Rose Depp and Renate Reinsve, a Norwegian actress. So that's exciting. So she got that going on. So Blackpink's Jennie will also appear in an HBO show, the Weeknd's new series, The Idol. Listen, I'm probably not gonna watch it, but like, good for her,
Yeah, it doesn't look like my cup of tea, but
it doesn't really look like something I'm into, but good for her. And find something that I'm very much into from all levels. Park Seo-joon is going to be joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe, playing Norval in the Marvels. So
Novar.
That's exciting.
Novar. Well, like getting them in with those obscure Marvel roles for the Korean actors, but listen, we'll take them.
There have been some other Korean actors who have wound up in Marvel and have had, spoiler alert, things happen to their characters that mean that they're not coming back for sequels. And you're like, dang it, come on. So hopefully,
and often in ways that just
he's
don't
not
really
just expendable character that they're just,
Well, listen, I know nothing about the Marvels, so
me neither. So
all I know about Novar is that he's a Kree and is from an alternate reality Marvel.
All right.
And
it's apparently incredibly handsome because
he has I'm about to read you something that will completely confuse what you just said, where it says he has triple helix DNA altered with cockroach genes to include insect properties and become a super soldier.
Okay.
All right.
I guess.
It's fine. We'll see. It'll be fine. Like they're always turn out to be fun. Even if they're not that good of a movie, they're always a fun movie. So
I just finished Ms. Marvel, the series. I loved it. It was so fun.
Yeah, I was waiting for it to fully drop to finish it.
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very good. Very fun. Very teenage girl dealing with her parents and life and superpowers. So love it.
So I always have to do a small NFT corner, so this is more. Sorry, it'll be shorter than the past.
Thank God.
So, what's nice is Jessie's additional comments on this stuff. So NFTs, they still suck. I just wanted to share that.
But now everyone else has figured this out as well. It's not just us.
Yeah.
So quite some time ago, Dreamcatcher was kind of involved in some NFT stuff. So not the girls, the company.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they made a big deal, and then it kind of just quietly, I think it probably still exists, but everyone is just trying to ignore its existence. The sad part about that is that it was coupled with a comeback that was very
environmental
like
Yeah.
issues and stuff. So that's it. Kind of took the wind out of the sails of that. Again, nothing about the girls necessarily. Just companies will company sometimes. So the other NFT thing is 88 Rising, which we love 88 Rising.
Mm-hmm.
But they decided that NFTs are a thing and they should be investing in and made some for Coachella even.
Which sucks.
So that's blah.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully
No,
that,
thank
you know,
you.
gets out.
Yeah. Right.
I mean,
yeah.
it really feels like, you know, even some additional, when I say K-pop companies, not even entertainment companies, but kind of the ones that cater to all the groups and things. You know, there's all those like small variety shows and all these, there's all these additional companies over in Korea. It feels like they are really heavy into NFTs too, but we just hope as the years progress, if the fans don't glomp onto them too much, hopefully they'll just slowly drop stuff, like get rid of them. That would be great.
And you'll never hear of it again.
Yeah. So if we just stick to our guns, that would be marvelous. However, what kind of keeps happening is sometimes, I mean, I think it didn't happen with the Stray Kids tickets. You bought a Stray Kid ticket and you automatically got an NFT or something. So sometimes you don't even know that it's a part of the process. And then all of a sudden you're like burdened with this. Well, I didn't want this thing. Gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of us wanted this thing.
Right.
What they need is almost a system whereby you can like destroy your NFT and be like, okay, this is mine and I have rights to it. And I want you to get rid of it now.
You know what you can do to destroy it? You just hit delete on your computer because it's just a fucking piece of code. So stupid.
Yeah. So on some like very unsettling, unhappy news in Hong Kong, the boy group Mirror performing on stage, and one of those giant video screens
was awful.
Fell, and it fell on top of two of the backup dancers.
It was awful.
Like, I do not recommend going and looking up videos of this. There are videos of it happening because, of course, there's all kinds of people at this concert video recording because you know how
You're at a concert.
So there are multiple angles that you can see it happening from. Like, it just don't, because it is very, very unsettling and unhappy to look at. The two dancers have been, one of them critically injured. The most recent thing that I saw said probably paralyzed from the neck down for life. Yeah. Like, he has lost the use of his arms and legs.
I'd have been surprised if they weren't.
Yeah, I mean, Asian Junkie said, watching the video, they thought that probably the report that came out saying in critical condition was a lie because they assumed that the person was dead because there's no way. So, yeah, it really sad. Like, just seeing the comments from people like that, people, you know, they shut it down right away. They shut the concert down. They sent everybody out of the building, say, go home. Like, you know, we're done. But just, you know, it's a boy group. There's 12 and 13-year-old girls there, just traumatized, absolutely traumatized from seeing this. And it didn't have to happen, right? Like, this is the kind of thing that should not happen. There's no reason for it to happen. You should be doing these checks. You should be doing safety checks and over and over again. If you're going to have special effects like this, we need to stop. You know, it made me think of, when was it Wendy who took the step off the steps that weren't there? And, you know, like, there's no reason for this kind of stuff to happen. Yeah. We need to take people's lives more seriously and be in control of that kind of thing. I say as if I had anything to do with it, but like, as a society, we need to say, no, you can't do stuff like that. And apparently authorities are investigating and looking to press charges and things. Like, it's not getting swept under the rug. Like, people are investigating it and looking into this situation. So
everybody deserves very safe working conditions.
Yeah.
And there's no excuse.
Yeah.
And performing on stage shouldn't be a job that takes your life in your hands.
Exactly.
And it's like, you know, this backup dancer was probably just some guy in his 20s and working a job for very little money. And now his whole career has been ruined, right?
Yeah. No. So, yeah.
to bring up the mood a little, Paramount Plus is going to be available in Korea. I've actually recently been trying to convince my husband to let me get Paramount Plus, purely for the sheer reason that it's where Teen Wolf streams. So I even wrote on this in our little document that I'm so glad that Korea can watch Teen Wolf now. Like, I'm very excited for them to discover the magic that is Teen Wolf. Jessie says, if they start making K-dramas, can they please make them available for everyone so that I have a solid reason to get it, since all of my Criminal Minds is going there as well. Yeah. And also, like, so my husband was like, don't you, like, have Teen Wolf, like, on DVD? And I'm like, listen, they're making a new Teen Wolf show starring Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, and that's where the movie's going to be, honey. Think of your Teen Wolf obsessed wife.
Well, what you can always do, just because you get a subscription for a bit to consume those things, and then if you don't want to have it later, you just cut the cord, like, and it's fine.
If Jessie wants to go halvesies on this Paramount Plus account, like, we can make that happen. We can make this happen for us.
I mean, and like Jessie saying that, you know, she hopes if they do K-dramas, they make them available to everybody. Like, what if they do and it shames Disney Plus into unlocking their vault? Like,
no, it doesn't work with Netflix yet.
Or maybe they'll just start outbidding Disney and, like, they'll get them and share them with us, and Disney will be like,
So in Korea, not here, but in Korea, CJE&M and TVing will be bundled in with the Paramount Plus service. So, maybe this means that TVing and CJE&M will be
available
at some point.
Because TVing right now is they've had some really interesting stuff come out over the last year that we don't get to see. So
yeah, and we would like to see it. Second to last piece of news.
So I will say this, because I think that Jessie would want to add this. Members of the J-Rock group Scandal become the first Japanese female musicians to sign an endorsement contract with Fender guitars.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. She says this is huge. She's so excited for them. And because females make music too. Imagine that.
What?
There are even promo pics out, and she says they're a really fun group, so go check out their music. So I want to promote all that. I think that we need to check out Scandal, and we need to support the fact that they're now endorsed by Fender. Shoot. So that was my nod to Jessie, but I will continue to say just a couple of award things that happened lately. Where did they go? Junho, he became the first idol to win Best Actor at Korea PD Awards.
Woo! We do love our 2 p.m. voice. We do.
And Jessie loves that. So Blue Dragon Awards, that has been around a while. But this was the first year for Blue Dragon Series Awards. And a handful of people ended up winning. Like, for instance, I think DP won the series. So, like, go check it all out. But what I wanted to mention specifically was that Park Seo-hum and Park Jae-chan for Semantic Error, they won one of the popularity awards. There was like a handful of popularity awards that they gave out. They were also nominated for New Male Actor category. And it was just it was an honor for them to be nominated. I think what's really cool about that, there's like a lot of levels to why that's so great that they were, you know, it was a BL, so that's a big deal. But then also it was, you know, one of those streaming services that it's not like it was one of the major cable networks or something. And they still were able to be at this novel, because the Blue Dragon Awards, like, they're a big deal for the movies and stuff. So the fact that they were able to come to the new series one, I just thought that was really amazing. So it was a really, really big honor and stuff. So I thought that was pretty awesome.
On sort of a happy/sad news kind of thing, Yeol's Sketchbook wrapped up after 13 years and 600 episodes. Wild. You know, it's, I guess, partially because he was involved in some sort of scandal, but I think it's one of those scandals that's not really a scandal anywhere except for Korean netizens. So, you know, whatever. Hopefully some new show will rise up to fill that gap that will be left there. But on the good side of things, Sistar reunited to perform in the final episode,
Which
So
is
that's
just
pretty
there.
amazing, and you can find the clips all over the place, and they're so good. And I mean, of course they are, because it's Sistar and they're so good. So it's sad / a bittersweet moment, we'll call it. It was a bittersweet moment. The show is ending, but we got Sistar performing together on stage, doing their
Because
thing.
that was a major pillar of music entertainment.
Yeah.
Seriously.
On TV in Korea,
Yeah.
like it's one of the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
And they would have everybody. And you see stories about how, like, even sometimes K-pop groups that were maybe struggling a little bit would be invited to be on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And then that would be the
Re-energize their
impetus
popularity.
that would get their career really moving and stuff. So hopefully there will be, like I said, something that will rise up to fill that gap.
Yeah.
But
It also was a really chill show. Like it felt like you were just sitting and chatting with them. It was a really neat show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember which platform it's on, but if you ever want to check it out, they're around. If you want to watch episodes of it for some of your favorite groups that might be on it, it's worth a shot. Like there's some really neat clips and things, and the interviews were always really short but well done. So he's a really neat artist and stuff.
Semi-tragic news in the crime television watching community. OCN has decided that they will not be airing any new dramas for the rest of this year, and maybe ever.
Yeah.
Most of the dramas that were on the slate are probably going to be going on TVN, which is a bit annoying because you never know where TVN dramas are going to be streaming. Like, it's always
Which, I mean, you never did with OCN ones either.
Yeah,
so,
true,
I mean,
but still, So they've been hinting at this a while, but a lot of the dramas have been moving to TVN and TVing, and TVing has been like sort of filling that gap that OCN was filling as well with their quality dramas. However, this all comes down to the drama. It's our albatross of a drama, Island. What's going on with Island? Like, the struggle is real for people who want to watch this drama. But as Jessie says in her comment here, I'm sure they've spent too much money at this point to cancel it.
right.
And
it has to go somewhere. It
feels like it would be a Netflix appropriate, like Netflix would be into it. So like maybe we should all go on the Netflix like
Amazon, maybe like
and,
Amazon Prime, perhaps just anywhere but Disney.
Somewhere.
If it ends up in Disney,
anywhere but Disney.
I will freaking riot.
I just be like, this is bullshit. Be like, well, hello, ocean-faring denizens.
A pirate life for people.
Pirate's life for me.
Because think how much money they could get out of it. Whoever ends up platforming it, they're going to get money from it. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm. And we've been having these discussions about Disney Plus and stuff, and what somebody said was, if you look them up, there's articles where Disney Plus has basically said they don't need to make money, basically, and they don't care. Like, they don't need to grow the K-drama market, and they don't need to grow their North American market. They've already got that on lock, so they don't care about us. So they just don't care. And you're
so then in return,
I guess we don't need
to
care about. Come see, come saw, my guy.
That's how that works. Like, yeah.
There's plenty of websites making it.
If you don't even show us scraps or any more than scraps, we will.
Well, and just don't buy the North American rights if you have no intention of ever showing it here. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Just don't buy those rights. Let Nikki have it. Let whoever
let Cocoa do something at this point.
Let Amazon have it, for God's sakes, if you don't give a shit, because at least Amazon's showing it.
Just don't buy the rights if you know when you're going in that you're not ever going to show it in North America. Don't do that. Like, it's just a dick move. Just don't be that person.
So I'm gonna wrap up with some remake news if I can find them. They're kind of scattered about, so it's gonna take me a moment. Side note, CJ E&M, they're launching Studio Dragon Japan. It's kind of related. So Studio Dragon Japan, we hope that it won't end up on Disney. So just, it would be great if they released that content. That would be lovely.
We just want it, okay? We just want to watch it. Is that such a crime?
We want to be able to pay to watch these things.
Listen, we want to give the money. We want to legally watch these things. We're not just out here like, willy-nilly downloading. No, that's not. No.
So, kind of related to earlier, the movie version of Semantic Error is going to be hitting Korean theaters August 31st, by the way. So that's really cool. Extraordinary Attorney Woo will be turned into a webcomic, as well as they're in talks to be remade into a US TV show. Business Proposal is in talks to get Hindi and Telugu remakes.
That's super fun.
Yeah.
Flower of Evil is going to get an Indian remake.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
now that I think about it,
that would probably be super entertaining. Like, that'd be fun to watch. And the American TV show Your Honor is adapted from an Israeli original drama, and Kavodo is to get a Korean remake.
Okay.
And as a final remake news, for some reason, Apple TV has hired J.J. Abrams to make a live-action Speed Racer.
Did he make the Speed Racer movie, the live-action Speed Racer movie?
So. I don't.
Did that movie do well?
I don't know. I don't think so. But it was enjoyable. But it's also
it was made
really
by the
difficult to
Wachowskis.
watch.
It was made by the
that's
Wachowskis.
Right.
Which when you think about it, you're
very,
like, oh,
yeah,
this
no,
makes sense.
Very,
this makes sense now. Like a weird.
The Speed Racer movie. My kids enjoy it. We watch it. It's fun. But like, it very much feels like your brain is on drugs. Like you're just like, what is going on? So, but in a fun way. So
in a fun way.
And I mean, Speed Racer is good. Like the old cartoon was fun.
Yep.
Like fingers crossed, this will be fun and enjoyable to watch. So,
but it's kind of one of those things like of all the things for them to put money behind and remake, it's like
such a bizarre. And like, what is J.J. Abrams getting out of this? Is really like,
how much is he getting paid to do that?
Like,
maybe he's a big fan.
Like maybe.
So that's been all of our news.
Thank you for listening to the return of the Newsnas hour and a half or even more, shall we say. We hope you enjoyed listening to us. You can listen to us wherever podcasts can be found, but if you want access to the links and show notes and everything, you got to go to certifiednewsnas.com, our home on the web. In addition, we do live streams pretty much every week over on our YouTube channel, which also has all of our episodes there as well. So it's youtube.com/certifiednewsnas, and you can reach us on social media. We're on pretty much all the big ones, but easiest places to find us are Instagram and Twitter. It's always @certifiednewsnas, one word. And if you want to support this podcast and become part of our found family, you can go to patreon.com/certifiednewsnas and join the found family, where we put up the extra stuff for the podcast people over there. And, we have a movie night every month. It's super fun. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed listening to us and you have a great week. And, we're still in the middle of the pandemic. So think about your immunocompromised friends and wear a mask and wash your hands. And as always, keep enjoying Asian entertainment.
Bye.